What is going on, YouTubers? Jay here from Doogee, and Jay, very happy to bring you here the unboxing and the semi-review of the Doogee S95 PRO that I picked up about a month ago. Then Amazon delayed my order and finally I got it around May 6 approximately, and I've been using it now for a little over a week, and it has been a very interesting device. This one comes with an extra speaker. It is a 6-watt speaker. And also it has an extended battery, and for those of you out there who need big batteries, or that, well, you simply are a little bit sloppy and you drop your phone all the time and you break them, but this is a really tough phone with great specifications. So Doogee is a brand that, well, a lot of you guys don't know it because they don't have a middleman. They don't have a carrier that promotes them. They go straight to the consumer from their factories. And that's why they can keep their prices low. This one right here carries the Helio P90 processor, which is really competitive for MediaTek. It has the Mali G72. This particular variant comes with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of internal memory. There's another one that has the same RAM but comes with 256 GB of internal memory, and of course you can upgrade it as well. That's why I decided to go with the lower one. This is considered the Pro model. It has 4K camera, and I think it goes 30 frames per second, and it has many great features. It has NFC, wireless charging, everything you look in a smartphone, but just with a rugged body. So getting a look at the box here, we can see that it looks kind of thin, and for everything that I just mentioned, yes, it definitely looks kind of thin. Opening the box here, you have a box inside of a box. But we need to be careful because inside of the actual box of the smartphone, right beneath it here, we're gonna have two great accessories, and this changes the experience of buying a smartphone. Usually you just get the wall charger, the earphones, the USB cable, but now we get something different here. This is a speaker. Yes, you guys heard that correctly. Here we have the connection point. It is magnetic, and it does connect behind the phone. We're going to be talking about this in just a second. These are 6-watt speakers. It has a built-in battery of 2000 milliamps, and you have a switch just so that it doesn't drain it from your smartphone and, you know, become a power sucker. Here we have the USB-C port for charging, and overall I gotta say that it is great if you're watching movies, if you're watching, let's say, Netflix or YouTube, and you have this thing on. It changes your experience quite dramatically. The next accessory we have here is a 3500 milliamp battery, which is this one right here, and it does exactly that. So in the back here we can see the two extra speakers. We have a power key so that you can charge your phone, and on the side we have another USB-C port. We have the opening for the cameras, and here we have the connections as well, and it is magnetic, so all you have to do is place it on the back side of the phone and you are good to go. And now this is the box where the smartphone is sitting currently, so let's go ahead and flip this open. And inside here, of course, I removed all the stickers. I have my AT&T SIM card inside of this device. Here we have the Doogee S95 PRO. It comes with the USB Type-C cable right here. I have my own, so I didn't use it. And very interesting enough, we have a 20-watt charger. It uses the quick charge 3.0, so any Samsung accessory will work fine with this device. And it has wireless charging, and I believe it charges at 10 watts, which is, again, very impressive. Inside here we have booklets. We also have the screen protectors and whatnot, which is really cool. We know that these phones are kind of rare here in the USA, and finding accessories can be hard, but with this one you don't have to worry. They included 2 screen protectors. That's all we have inside of the box. So let's go ahead and check here. Let me leave the accessories around because we're going to be testing these later on. So here we have them, and again, this is a 3500 milliamp battery and the speakers. Okay, so here we have the device. On the front we have a 6.3-inch display. It has a 1080p resolution with 409 ppi. On the front we have a wide angle 16 megapixel selfie camera. It does have a notification LED light here by the ear speaker. We have the proximity and light sensor and all the other sensors right here on the very top of the phone. Towards the bottom we have, I gotta admit, a very big chin with a nice rubberized body all around it. That's for impact. As a matter of fact, Doogee is claiming that this phone can fall 1,000 times at around 2 meters and it will survive. That's very interesting. Maybe on a separate video I can test that out for you guys. On the back here we had 3 cameras, 2 8 megapixels. One is a depth sensor, the other one is a wide angle lens, and a 49 megapixel sensor, which is a portrait camera lens, which is really cool. We have the LED flash here, and here we have the connectors for the battery and the speaker as well. We have 2 loudspeakers on the back. Unfortunately, they're not on the front, which makes it a little bit weird when watching movies, but again, we're gonna be hearing what this little thing can do later on. So on the side here, on the right side of the device, we have the first SIM tray. They are separated. We have one on this side and one on the other, where on the other you can upgrade it, you can upgrade the memory, excuse me. We have the volume rockers up and down with the power key, a fingerprint scanner on the side of the device. We don't have an on-screen fingerprint, unfortunately. Behind this flap, which is a little bit of a inconvenience, removing this all the time, we find the USB-C port right here, nothing special. And on the left hand side here we have a shortcut button. Now you can remap this to any application, which is really cool. You can do flashlight, which I have it. You can double press and the flashlight comes on. You can long press and the camera comes on, so on and so forth. And here we have the secondary slot with a TF card slot as well. So you can do 2 SIM cards and a TF card at the same time, which again, very convenient. And on the top you have the secondary microphone, and that's pretty much all we have here around this device. And by the way, on the back we have the primary microphone. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on, and I believe I charged it, and this one has 5150 milliamp battery. The only little disappointment is that, well, it's Android 9.0 and not the 10.0, but it has been very well optimized. And here we have the little boot animation from Doogee, and let's go ahead and enter my pattern here. And the first thing I want to test, like always, is going to be my face recognition, and you guys are going to see that it is very, very accurate, and also the fingerprint. So like I said, guys, Doogee has come a long way. I really like the recent devices. This one feels very nice and rugged, and trust me guys, I have tested many rugged devices out there. I'm not going to mention the companies, but they were poorly made, and I decided not to complete a review. This one here really feels like a flagship phone at a price that is not too bad considering the accessories that we are getting. Alrighty guys, so here we have the Doogee S95 PRO all set up and ready to go. So the first thing that we are greeted with is going to be the lock screen, and the reason I'm holding it like this is because it will recognize my face and unlock it immediately. So there we can see right off the bat the NFC logo. We have the AT&T logo as well as the 4G LTE symbol. It does support HD voice. We got the battery indicator right there, just basic stuff, nothing to really brag about. So here we're going to use my pattern first, and now we're going to turn it off and turn it back on. You guys can see that the face recognition is really responsive on this device, and also the fingerprint, it becomes natural if you use your thumb for the right hand, and very natural if you use your middle finger for the left hand. It doesn't matter how big your hands are. Those are the 2 fingers that I prefer. It is very comfortable, and let me tell you that Doogee did a very good job placing it down here. It feels just natural by grabbing it. The first thing that you do is, press on it, and it will unlock very fast. I would prefer to have an on-screen fingerprint. Well, that's not the case, and for the price, guys, remember that you're getting those 2 extra accessories. You really cannot complain. This phone has the Helio P90, and by the way, this is the software. It is not a clean Android 9.0, but they have optimized it to work very well. I've been using this device, like I said, for the past week and a half approximately, and it has been a tremendous device in every single way. So up here we can see the battery indicator, and you guys won't believe that I took this phone around 6:30 in the morning, and it is currently 7:04 p.m. and I haven't charged this device during the entire day, guys. And look at my battery percentage. I have done basically what I do: text messaging, phone calls, constant videos, especially in my break times. I do Bluetooth music the whole day. I use Google Play, by the way, and this device only sucked about, I would say, 20% approximately. that can tell you right there that this phone has a super mega battery. It is a 5150, like I said before. So on the battery side, you guys won't have a problem. And with the battery bank right here, which all you have to do is just connect it here towards the back, you can see that it is magnetic. And it says connecting OTG. When back clip is connected, okay, so just click OK, and you guys can see that right now it has turned on by itself. You don't need to press it, and in case you don't have to use the power right now, you can always turn it off. And right now you guys can see that it is currently charging, but like I said, you don't have to leave it on. You can simply turn it off back here like so and use it later. So again, a very convenient little battery here. This will give you like about another day and a half approximately. So with the phone's internal battery plus this battery bank, you can get about 3 days and a half, even if you are a heavy user like I am. Now, I'm not talking about watching Netflix movies, you know, the whole entire day. Of course, that's not going to be the case. But if you use it like me, you know, again, text messaging, web browsing, videos, I do a little bit of gaming, I do phone calls, I do a lot of Bluetooth music. Let me tell you guys, it is a very impressive device when it comes for battery. And not only that, I think I dropped this device once. There is a little mark right there, and it was a very hard drop, and this phone didn't suffer any major damage, just a little bit of a scratch right there, and that was pretty much it. And like I said before, Doogee is claiming that this phone can take up to 1,000 drops at about 2 meters, and it is IP68 certified, so it can go down up to, I believe it's 4 meters for 4 hours. So that's kind of crazy right there. The front here, I forgot to mention that it is made of Corning Gorilla Glass number 5 as well. So like I said before, we have the Helio P90 on here. Let's go into the Antutu benchmark real quick. And normally a flagship device will score something like about 400,000 plus. This one got a score of about 208,000. So I would say this is in the upper scale of the mid-range devices, thanks to that Helio P90 processor, also known as the MTK6779. The GPUs, the Mali G72, I believe. And here we can see the rest of the information of this device. Again, guys, very impressive. The only little disappointment so far when it comes to the software here is the fact that we're not dealing with Android 10. It is Android 9. So talking about Android 9, let's go ahead and look here at the settings. So here we have the regular toggles, and let's go here into settings. And we can see here that we just have, I would say for the most part, basic functions. We do have here a special tab for the side key function. So this is what I was mentioning before. For one click, you can set up certain applications. For long press, you can do the flashlight. For double click, you can do the camera. So for instance, if I long press it, you guys can see that the flashlight came on. If I long press it again, it turns off. If I double click it, it takes me to the camera. Okay, but you have to be unlocked already. Let's go ahead and try that again. Boom, there it is. Very nice and efficient. Now on here on this camera, it looks like the screen is very blue, but when you look at it in real life, it's actually like I would say like a grayish white. You can change these settings to night mode as well, and you can do that here directly from display, so that way you don't strain your eyes too much. You go here, you go into night, and have it set up so that it starts at around 10 p.m. and it lasts until 6 a.m. That way, if I'm watching a video or reading an article here, you know, especially at nighttime, it doesn't hurt my eyes. So now another thing we're going to talk about here is the camera. The camera, there's a lot to say about it. It is great overall, but of course it has its flaws, especially you know, knowing that it doesn't really have optical image stabilization, but it still can record at 4K 30 frames per second. I did record in 4K today on this video that you're watching right now, but it has been downscaled to 1080p due to the video. Again, it is only 30 frames per second, and it does have up to 10 times zoom, so that's really, really cool. The zoom is not going to give you the best quality focus when you're trying to view like a sign or something like that. It's mainly made for bigger objects, I would say. The night mode also works very similar to the Google Pixel devices. You know, you had to make sure that you hold your device steady and then you shoot that picture and wait until it tells you that it has processed. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit distorted. But for the most part, the camera does a very good job. The colors look natural. You know, and again, having that 4K 30 frames per second is definitely a plus. For the front-facing camera here, you guys can see that right there it's a little bit choppy right now. Maybe because I have a whole bunch of things open. Sometimes it gets like that. But when you watch the actual recording on it, it doesn't look anything like you're seeing right now. So that only happens with the front-facing camera. Maybe we need a software update in order to fix that. But for the most part, I gotta give the camera, the front and the back, I would say a solid 8 out of a 10. It doesn't get a 10 out of a 10 just because of the fact that we don't have any type of, you know, optical image stabilization. That would have been very nice. But nevertheless, it is still a very good camera to play around. Another thing that we're gonna test here is going to be, first of all, the actual speaker from the phone. And then we're gonna install this thing so that way you guys can tell the difference. And I'm gonna leave the microphone exactly where I have it at. I'm not gonna change it. So let's say if you're watching any video here, let's say this one here. Let me go. So here you guys gonna listen. The quality coming out of the phone. What's going on YouTube? Jay here from Doogee and Jay. Today finally I got for you here the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra replica, and this is the first that I get in my hands. Unfortunately, this was delayed. Well, you guys kind of heard that a little bit right there. Let me go ahead and connect this accessory, and that way you guys can be impressed. At least I was. The only downside is that they don't tell you what side to open it at. This is like a little stand. You see, I tried this side, but it's actually this side. And then that way you can sit it like so. Let's click OK. And now everything should work as normal. Let's go ahead and try this. Let me increase the volume once again. And here we go. I would say about 2.5 weeks approximately through DHL, just because of the current situation that we have all around the world. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It has to do with the coronavirus. As a matter of fact, I ordered the real one on Amazon with the Prime service, and it has been... I am not sure if the camera is really capturing this the right way in the sense of audio. But let me tell you guys, it is night and day when it comes to the quality coming out of this thing. Let's say if you guys love watching movies on your smartphone, then this is a must-have accessory. It makes things just way better. And I understand that sometimes, let's say like myself, I like to watch things on big screen, but just having this thing alone makes you just have that good experience on whatever you're watching. It is totally different, guys. As I mentioned before, another cool aspect about the Doogee S95 PRO is the fact that it can handle games very well. So far I have tested Ospo 9 without zero issues. It does perform quite well, as I mentioned before, and all of the applications are already installed. And I mean all the Google applications like the Play Store, Gmail, all these application, maps, photos, all these things are already installed from factory. And the reason I mention this is because, as you guys know, even from some Xiaomi and Huawei devices, they don't have the Play Store installed because they're not considered the international model. And for that reason, you had to do it yourselves. Well, with this device, you're not going to have that issue. That's the great thing about Doogee that I do like. Overall, I gotta say it is a very good phone, and when it comes here to the calls and the internet browsing and all that good stuff, it does very, very well. It does support HD voice, like I said before, so call handling is really, really good. The next thing is, of course, the Wi-Fi, the reception, everything just works very nicely. I did get a software update because I noticed my Wi-Fi was sometimes cutting off, especially when I get further from it. But now after the update, it does very, very good. I mean, it might drop a line or so, which with other phones I don't get. But overall, you know, it is functioning quite well. Alrighty guys, so I think that now we have completed here the unboxing and the semi-review of the Doogee S95 PRO. Like I said on the title, if you guys tend to break your phones constantly, if you guys are rough with your phones, or if you simply have a job that requires for you to have a nice rugged device, then look no further. This is a really good phone with almost flagship specifications. It has a good camera, 4K quality. You get IP68 certification. a very nice bumpy body, and overall it is very good for usage. It has a very good battery as well. If you guys are those that are usually on the go and you need something very good when it comes to battery, this is a really good phone to look forward to. I would say that some of the things that I don't like is the fact that, well, first of all, this is a personal issue that I had when I place it on the speedometer of my truck to rest it, especially at work. It tends to turn off. The buttons are very sensitive. That's one of the issues that I had. And the other one is that I mentioned before is the fact that it doesn't have any optical image stabilization on the camera, so it makes it a little bit jumpy, especially when recording at 4K 30 frames per second. The videos can look a little bit jumpy, something that I didn't like. But other than that, it is a very complete device. It has NFC, wireless charging, fast charging, and all these great features that we usually look forward to on smartphones, especially in 2020. And there's one more complaint, and it has to do with the software. Again, I prefer Android 10, of course, especially at this time of 2020. This one comes with Android 9. But it could be that maybe we get a miracle with the Doogee S95 PRO and we get the update for Android 10. Doogee, if you're watching this, try to help us out here. But other than that, it is a very good device with very little cons to it. Again, if you guys have any questions, you know exactly what to do. Don't forget to comment, like, and share. And I will see you on my next one.